does Hawaii have the ability to maintain their Hawaiian culture? And when Western culture starts to come in, or even Japanese culture, where these other cultures start to chip away at the Hawaiian identity, do they have the right to be frustrated at that? Or are they racist when they're frustrated?
Yeah, but again, you're talking about a colonized place that was in, like, that's where the difference is.
Okay,
it just
remove
is
colonization. Like, do a thought experiment. Just do a thought experiment.
Hey, yeah, as a thought experiment, if they'd never been colonized, don't worry about it.
Everybody's been colonized, so that cancels out everybody.
I mean, they're still colonized, like right now.
Okay.
There's a beef between two prominent members of modern-day media, Andrew Schulz and former NFL player, Super Bowl winner, host of The Pivot, Ryan Clark.
Listen. Right now, the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny.
He is the guy on top.
He is
making sure that comedians, he put a law in.
Yeah.
He put a law in place.
All right, let's see the exact line, okay?
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
Okay.
he is saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black
So
woman.
he's basically saying all white comedians
Are only allowed to
talk about black women.
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait a minute, just let me understand what's going on here, because I think that you're using sarcasm as a comedic device.
It is a comedic device.
But you're so fucking smart right now that I don't know if you're serious or making jokes. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and
Oh, yeah.
of R. Kelly? And actually, in reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
A sexual
molested,
predator, yeah.
and black women?
Oof, children.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black
Not
women?
potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
Yeah, I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that is.
Not breezy. Not breezy. I took a picture with Chris Brown. Hey, bro, I took a picture with him immediately.
And recall this.
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you might not know about this.
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up.
Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they got to shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a
step,
beard
they step their
because
dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious.
This was what got Schulz in hot water with many as he joked about black women over and over again.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
We just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give, there's first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like it is, fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I would smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
So much so that the dudes who sat in with Schulz issued an apology on their show.
When you think about the two podcasters from the UK, is we don't know if the black experience there is the same as the black experience for African Americans or black people that grew up in America. I'm sure to be on this media tour in the US and to sit with Andrew Schulz was a big thing for them. I don't care if it was a big thing. And in addressing Andrew Schulz, who I do think is funny, who sits with Charlemagne and has some of these discussions about the culture, I believe he got too comfortable. So I would like to explain some things to him. I want to explain to him the black experience, the black woman experience from my point of view. It was watching my mother start from a bank teller and work her way up for decades to run her own collateral department, only to be mistreated when the bank was sold to another bank, and be so sick on Sunday that I finally had to say, hey, Mom, you're old enough to retire. It was to see her go to that same job, 8 to 5, to be treated anyway that she had to be treated because she only had a high school diploma, and then find ways to not only feed me, but do homework with me and my brother, take us to practice because my dad worked 3 jobs. That was the first black woman experience that I had. Right. The second black woman experience I had is marrying a black woman and watching her sleep on my cot as doctors try to figure out why I'm 140 pounds and I'm a 30-year-old man who was 205 pounds a month before that. Her telling me months after that she would just go in the bathroom and cry every night in the hospital because she didn't want me to worry about her because I was so sick. That's the black woman experience. The black woman experience is black women caring so much about the nuclear black family, black women taking care of young black men to teach them how to be leaders, to teach them how to be strong, to teach them how to care about their God, about their family, and it's about their communities. And to raise their young black women to be independent enough to take care of themselves, but to understand how to support a family, how to support a man, while also understanding how to get it on your own. That's the black woman experience that I know. The reason that black women are tough is because when you're mistreated in the way that black women are, if you're not tough, you just die off, you don't survive.
Ryan Clark weighed in on the discussion, which led to Schulz going on Shannon Sharpe's club, Shay, and saying, for me, this is a comedy podcast, so I was making a joke. First of all, I hate explaining jokes, so stupid. But yeah, I was like, what is the opposite of the black girlfriend effect? A lot of the times in comedy, the opposite take is the funny thing. So you go to the other side and you try to defend the indefensible. That's what I have done my whole career. It's just the opposite effect of the black girlfriend effect. Being you look so much better. It's really not that sophisticated. He goes on to say, and then Ryan Clark took a break from posting pictures of his outfits on Instagram to do a whole soliloquy. He did that. And it just felt like it was all clout. He tried to make it this big thing. By the end of it, he's like, this is one of the guys who wants to say the N-word but doesn't. I was like, what the F is going on? What are we even talking about? Which led Clark to stating this.
The thing about what Andrew said, though, that I disagree with was that I was speaking on what he did to gain clout. No one in the world defends black women to gain clout. Most of the time, the people defending black women are black women. What people do most times is what Andrew did. What people do most times is what the 2 young podcasters did. They laugh and they make jokes and they disrespect. And I get for Andrew, he said it was said in jest, and that's fine. He has an issue with me talking about what he said when it's cool to make jokes, it's cool to make them the butt of those jokes, but it's not cool for me to share my good experiences with black women. It's not cool for me to give you the historic view of what black women have done in support of black men. To me, make that make sense. Why is it corny for me to now respond to this in defense of black women when I'm getting sent your clip with people asking me, what do you think about this? When I'm walking around my house every day looking at black women who would give their lives for me. When I was raised by one that would give their life for me. That's not corny. That's not clout chasing. I'm not looking for friends. I wanted it to be very clear that these are my experiences and the experience of others, even though yours may be different. That he sat and he cried on that stage about this woman that he's married to and the child that he was able to have is the same way that so many men in the world who are married to black women or who've had opportunities to raise children with black women see them as well. And I think it should be fair that if you can joke about it, we get to challenge your joke with real life experiences.
As we put a bow on this, I think it's safe to say I don't necessarily like Andrew Schulz, okay? I think his comments have been problematic. I think the fact that he goes unchecked a lot of the time on his show problematic. Yet that clip that we started with shows how out of touch he can be. Those statements on Hawaii, mind-boggling. How he said if he were in a cell with Kendrick, he would rape him. Mind-boggling. The comments about black women, terrible. And what I really hate is how so many, even comedians, when they say stuff like this, they'll hide behind the defense of, well, I'm a comedian. Well, I'm allowed to say it. I'm allowed to demean people. I'm allowed to have off-putting comments on colonization because I'm a comedian, when really it's just off base and obtuse. And I think hopefully we'll get to the point that folks will potentially start defecting. But I really want you to think about why Donald Trump was so comfortable going on Andrew Schulz's show.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.